In 2023, three guys went on an adventure to France, looking for fossils in the French cliffs in Normandy. This is what they found. After driving for several hours through Europe, they arrived at their cozy Airbnb. The next morning, as they approached the beach, they encountered a few French policemen who wanted some information about their new camera.
No, it's an Insta360. It films this way and this way and this way, all around.
All right. Perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
Have a nice day.
It turned out to be a great day for spending some time amidst the rocks. And soon the first ammonites were found at the foot of the cliffs, having been buried for millions of years. A trip to a rocky coast is always very interesting, as there are many beautiful and weird things to be found. Here you can see a porpoise, that's a small kind of dolphin, and a badger that supposedly fell off the cliff. In the distance, on the other side of the English Channel, the white cliffs of Dover were spectacularly catching the blinding midday sun. It must have looked the same to Julius Caesar, just before he was going to invade England in 55 BC. A lot of shark eggs were washed ashore. Rudy, the guy with the black jacket, collected some of these. He thought he might be able to use them in one of his paintings later.
Heel mooi, man.
I still don't really understand how they managed to get this shot, but whatever. Later that day, the three handsome young men found themselves at Cap Gris-Nez, which literally means Cape of the Gray Nose, referring to the gray color of the clay there. It was a great experience to be able to walk on such a rocky beach for hours under cloudy skies. One of the many interesting things that they found was this very old beached ship that may have been used near the end of the Second World War when the Allies were fighting the Germans. Or maybe it was just another sunken fishing boat. In the afternoon, they decided to try to climb up the cliffs. It was a bit sketchy, but wasn't really dangerous most of the time. It was getting late, and they needed something to eat. They managed to find a supermarket, and one of the guys, Martin, was able to get his hands on a tasty piece of chicken. Back at their very cozy apartment, they enjoyed an exquisite meal, a coffee, and a good book. That evening, they went to the French town of Calais and spent some time in the bars there.
Yes.
The French turned out to be miserable at beer pong. The next morning, they went to the cliffs south of the Cape, having heard an old legend about very large ammonites that could be found in the rocks there. After a slippery climb down onto the beach, they once again enjoyed themselves for hours, walking, climbing, taking pictures, and looking for fossils. They checked out the parts of old German bunkers that fell onto the beach, and one of them, David, even found a piece of blue plastic rope that he liked. As you can see, these three young men were unbelievably gifted soccer players. They even saw some seals swimming just off the shore. And then, late in the afternoon, they came across the legendary field of large ammonites that they were hoping to find. With a hammer and a chisel, they managed to get some nice specimens out of the rock. Some people may think, wow, these guys are not very careful or gentle excavating these fossils, and they are correct. But these ammonites are not very rare or valuable, and would be eroded away in a few years anyway. And since the tide was coming back in, some quick action was needed. The three guys were overjoyed. This was one of the best trips they had ever taken. They went home and never forgot this life-changing experience.